Graffiti LA, Street Styles and Art by Steve Grody. Fantastic. It's a fantastic book. Lovely cover illustration with Slick there. With his famous sort of white gloves with the LA sign. Fantastic. Love the background on that and all. Look how sketchy that background is. Look how sort of beautifully sprayed that is, and lovely. Look at that tiny bit of orange there for the light. That is gorgeous. That is really, really gorgeous. Easily overlooked. Great technique on this. Just love it. Let's get into it because there's a lot of it, and I mean, it kicks off even here. Look at this. It's just the inside of the thing. I'm going to preface this as well in the same way that I did the Graffiti New York book, which is I don't know very much about LA Graph. I am not an expert. So you're going to have to pipe up in the comments if you know stuff about LA. I know there are LA writers who do watch my channel. So if you are an expert, or if you're from this end, if you're from the West Coast, then please do pitch in. Lovely little Bodo lizard there, nice. Oh, I love this bird. That's fantastic. Yeah, love it all. Great styles. Really, really cool there. Yeah, I did spend time over there on the West Coast in Los Angeles. I was there in end of the 90s and had a great time over there. Met some great people. Hung out. Didn't do I watched some graph. It's quite a scary graph scene, as those of you who are familiar with it will know. Quite scary over there. You know, you'll know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Look at this. This is old origins of LA graph. Look at these old styles. Really cool. This is proper, yeah, this is like neighborhood graph, isn't it? You know, marking out territory, that kind of stuff. Los Angeles starts out. Tag styles. Big drippy styles there. I mean, just some lovely hand style stuff there. I love that. Char. 2005. Great throwies. Really, really great throwies. Oh, I've seen that before. I've seen that before. It was massively dogged. I saw a picture of that. Is this the LA River? I guess it is. Yeah, the thing I was really overwhelmed by when I was there, because I live in London, you know, it's a massive city, but LA is a gigantic city. It's enormous. I was kind of overwhelmed by TC5. Oh, interesting. Oh, is that in New York? Am I missing something here? It looks very New Yorky, this. And that's the Crazy Five, so... Oh, hang on. Bizarre Problem in Bronx, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. Wicked style. Sorry, I'll try and go quicker. This looks like early stuff. This looks like very early stuff. Oh, this is some of the Hex and Slick battle. I'm not a complete ignoramus around LA Graph, by the way. I know some of the main players, largely because back in the 80s and 90s in the UK. Oh, this is Hex, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Back in the 80s and 90s, we had this magazine called Hip Hop Connection. I don't know if you had it in the States. We had it here in the UK, and there were always like 2 or 3 or 4 dedicated pages to graph. And Steam used to go all over the world, traveling all over the world. He's one of the first UK writers to really kind of touch in with big major artists all over the world. This style's mad, isn't it? Really tech style there. like a circuit board or something. Cool. And yeah, Steve was all over the place, and he went over to LA shortly. It's around that kind of time actually, when Hex and Slick were having that big battle that they had. And oh, that's a Hex piece. Recognise that. In fact, isn't this the Graph shop? I can't think where it was. I mean, I remember all them places around Melrose and Fairfax and stuff, but I don't know where this was. Was that around there, or was that somewhere completely different? Was it South Central or somewhere? Not sure. That's ace though, isn't it? Yeah, so Steam hooked up with Hex, and we got to see Hex's work in oh, hang on. When was that? No, what am I talking about? That was earlier than that. It was early 90s, I think it was, that we saw Hex's work for the first time. Actually, let's just have a look at this. Look at this. This is interesting because you get to see the fill. First lines, fill. I'm very happy to say that his first lines are very much like my first lines. I'm always very impressed by people who have super tight first lines, because mine are quite loose, and his are quite loose as well. If it's good enough for Hex, it's good enough for me. Hex is just one of them writers, I think, you know, who we will always consider a king. Right. Oh, love it. Oh, yeah. Now, when I think of LA Graph, I often think of this kind of stuff. That's quite New York as well, isn't it? In my opinion. I mean, that's really interesting. That is really interesting for some. Look at the technique there. Lots and lots of lines, and you know, that's a really interesting use of the medium. That broken line there, feathering of that line, that's interesting. And that's the result you get. I've seen this guy's work before. Great. That is a big piece. Slightly reminds me of the Paddington Wasteland. For those of you who remember London from the 1980s. Slightly reminds me of that. With the Westway. Obviously it's Los Angeles, so thousands of miles away. I love that as well. That's great. That is right up my street, obviously. Seventh letter. Yeah, love it. Love it. MSK, seventh letter. Yeah, expect to see quite a lot of seventh letter and MSK in there. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that's what you call a 3D, right? It's a big old piece, that. Oh, size and scale, that's what they're talking about. Massive, massive production joints. Oh, Tempt 1, yeah. Tempt, now, let me get this right. Tempt was the fellow who got Lou Gehrig's disease, wasn't he? I remember. Yeah. Tragic. I don't know if he's still alive. I hope so. And he used to do graph with the use of his, by the movement of his eyes, I remember. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Oh, this is all MSK, isn't it? Sever Saber Grime. Oh, Norm there, rest in peace. Yeah. Wow. That's a crispy outline. Oh, them thin lines as well. I mean, them thin lines, that's what we were looking at in the late 80s. Thin lines like that. But I tell you what, there's a lot of precision gone into that. That's a very impressive piece. Oh, that looks like retina. Retina, 7th letter. Well, that fill reminds me of UK 1980s, old school. So you see a lot of fills like that. Quite heavy dark colours on a lighter colour. Dusty spray. solid 3D. Nice. Interesting blockbuster. Nice style. Oh, that same spot with that big bridge. I wonder where that is. Anyone know where that is? Oh, God, I just love the diversity of style. That's what I always love about graffiti. You know, nobody sat down and told anybody how to do this stuff in the old days. You know, people just sort of looked at what was there, developed it, moved it on, came up with their own thing, rocked it. We're still doing it today. That is so cool. That's a mad wall, isn't it? That is a mad wall. That's one of them like once in a lifetime walls for most of us. Crazy. Some lovely technique going on there. Some lovely can control stuff. Gorge. Love it. You know, great big whips and yeah. Love it. Oh yeah, chromes. Funky chromes as well. Look how funky these chromes are. Reminds me of Ben One. Been in touch with Ben One for 20 odd years. Done some collabs with him over the years. Shared some crew love. These are amazing chromes. What was the problems with chrome? Because chrome is difficult to cut. Well, the chrome I was using was very difficult to cut anyway, I found. I must be one of the only writers ever who doesn't really like chrome very much. I loved it when I was younger. Really loved it when I was younger, but oh, is that Crayola? Looks like Crayola's style, that. Ewok, by the looks of things. Yeah, I loved chrome when I was younger, and the chrome and the black look and all that, but I've sort of gone off it in recent years. I'd rather smack some colour up there if I can. However, I'm always impressed by a good chrome. Wow, that's a nice tight 3D, isn't it? That is cool. Oh yeah. Yeah, some great, I mean, you know, some real great no outline 3D. Lovely combination there as well. I was at Mia. Yes, I recognise this guy as well. Sweet stuff. Diversity of style. I guess in a city this big as well, you must have a lot of style. Oh, this is from a famous Bode cartoon. This is this guy's take on it. That's great. That's really great. Oh, tell you what, that's a nice little ship he's done there as well. Little stencil cappy ship. Yeah, I painted a wall on Sunday, so I'm still sort of fresh off remembering how difficult it is to try to get paint to do what you want it to do sometimes. Even having handled a can since 1987, you know, still find it difficult sometimes. This is a great example of a well-composed piece. I shall give you my reasons why. So we've got foreground stuff, we've got character, we've got lovely piece here, great colours, nice letters, all that, you know, this here and this, and then nice. Then you've got sort of extra elements in the lamppost there, the tree there, nice, and that's sort of pushed slightly back. Then you push right back and you've got these little silhouettes which give you much more depth there as well. And then you push into the far background and you've got this sort of light colour, this really light sort of green colour, which sits as a complete backdrop. Composition is just a really nice, complete piece, that. Complete sort of, you know, production piece, because it probably was a production there. Very nice. always love a graphy wall. Just a big bomby graphy wall. Still one of my favourite things. I would love to do a wall, you know. I'd love to go up to a really blitzed wall. Just do a character on it. I'd love to do that sometime. I don't know when or where. Oh, oof. Love. Mad. Oh, this is... I've said it before, twice already, I think. But, I mean, you know, the diversity of style we're seeing. Wow, that's a mad one. I just love there's so much style, so many styles, and so many to come, by the way, because there's writers out there. I know you're out there working on your craft, working diligently on your craft, trying to put it together. Oh, this is classic sort of LA stuff, isn't it? Even like the black and white grayscale, your West Coast art, yeah, the recurring themes. Reminds me a lot of Latino stuff, lowriders, hot girls, killer clowns, skulls, tattoo elements, obviously, the scrolling, roses, embellishments, all that sort of stuff. Very nice. Great character. And the little background as well, and ties him into his environment, and yeah, sweet. It's all great. Oh, what a chrome. What a chrome there. Style forever. Great big, beautiful, swooping stuff. Yes. I think I've seen that before as well. Is that Crayola? Don't know. That feels sort of quintessentially LA as well to me. Oh, love. It's just so good, isn't it? I love how rough some of this stuff is. Look at the background, you know. Absolutely blitzed and bombed. Then you get these great pieces that sit on top of all the blitzing and bombing. There's something so nice about that. I love doing production walls where everything is mulched and it's beautiful and it's all like well prepped and everything. But I equally love sort of blitzed out walls with pieces sitting on them. That, I am absolutely nuts about that. That is great. Love it. Love that. The secondary lighting on it and everything, just great. What's that? It's like a sort of, is that a tank or something? Yeah. Really good anyway, great portrait. DJ Rob 1. That feels like a very LA style. I was very inspired by the LA style. In fact, if you look at some of my early pieces from the 2000s, they are very sort of LA inspired. I don't really want to show them anymore. I'm slightly embarrassed about them. But they were very LA style. This is great. I love these bottom bars, how they link up. Dondi was the first writer to do that, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think he was the first one to use the bottom bars like that. Just some mad stuff. Oh, this is Risk. Great LA writer. I remember seeing a photo of this one in, I think in Hip Hop magazine. Hip Hop Connection magazine. Risk we knew and Slick we knew because they came over at the end of the 80s to do the Bridlington Paint Jam. Sabre, of course, became famous because of his big, gigantic LA River piece. Is that Sever? That looks like Sever style. Or is it Sabre again? Not sure. Oh, and there it is. That's the LA River piece. That huge piece that Sabre did. Of course, that took the world by storm because it was so enormous. And nobody had ever done a piece remotely the size of that piece. Can't remember how many gallons of paint he said it to take, because people must have dogged it along the way and he must have had to redo it and everything. Just astonishing the size of that piece. For those of you who seem to scale, it's very difficult to judge it to scale because you see the little bushes on it, you know. It's enormous. It's huge. Incredible feat. Just interesting sort of illustrative styles. Lovely colourways on that. Combination of the mauve and the orange. Great. Big, thick, graphic hard lines. Look at the sort of cell shaded. Well, you wouldn't cell shaded. It's cell filled letter fill on that. Great. That reminds me of sort of early 80s New York, that one. Great style. Funky letters. So funky. And there must be some wall space in Los Angeles. I mean, I saw a lot of pieces when I was out there, but I was aware that you've got to know, because the city is so massive, you've got to know where you're going, really, to find the halls of fame and stuff. I was not hanging with a graph crowd. Love that. Absolutely love everything about that. Great risk piece there. Man, is that retina again? Yeah. Oh, these are all retina. Wow, there's some detail on that. Must have taken him a while. I'm just loving these styles. Big old freight there. Oh, that's great. Atlas. So cool. Oh, that really does make me want to sit down, like, knock out some fonts, you know. Try to get some font work down. Every so often still get excited by lettering and stuff. Damn, that's crazy. Oh, this one's a really famous one because we saw, oh, here we go. That was on the cover of Flashbacks magazine. I can't remember what number, but this big mouse character. I mean, what a great idea this was. This big mouse character and a big mouse trap in there with a little tiny spray can on the catch mechanism of the mouse trap. And then you get this piece and the 3D is cheese. And that is, I mean, isn't that just like perfect? It's just perfect, isn't it? Another hex piece there. So yeah, that's hex again on the letters there. But this piece, very famous. I think this was in, oh, I want to say Hip Hop Connection, but I don't know if it was Hip Hop Connection. I've seen it somewhere anyway, back in the day. Oh no, I know what it was. It was Graffitism. It was in maybe like a number 2 or 3 of Graffitism, but it was in black and white, so we never knew what colour it was. Great style. Just absolutely loved that. Look at that 3D. The background on it. All these fellas, yeah. Yeah, love it. Love hex. Absolutely love hex. Wow, that's one in tartan. A tartan fill. Great graphic style. Oh yeah, this guy again. Signer, this is cool. This must be a good spot. Back in this spot again. Yeah, this looks very 7th lettery. Oh yeah, now we're into the Governor Revoke. I'm sure you all know his work. I mean, even that bubbly background there is so detailed. Great, they call it italic cap tag up there as well, 7th letter. Then you get some really far out stuff like this, really different, radically different. Rooftop bombs, big sort of rough rooftop bombs. Oh, we just see some more in the distance there. Amazing, sketchy and line work on that. It's quite incredible. It's quite a famous Revoke piece. Damn, I've got the hiccups. Somebody told me Revoke used to paint like 3 or 4 pieces a day, which doesn't surprise me. If you see his output, it's so many pieces, so many. That's a great ball. That is mad. Skills. Amazing. Big, heavy graphic lines again. Crazy style. Love it. Again, all this is very sort of LA in it, with the sort of, you know, the grills over the doors and the windows and the AC unit and all that sort of stuff. Just see the graph up on the roof there, the bit on the roof. Just blitz the place. Very excited about that sort of stuff. That's a great character. Really great. Nice. Nice colours, colours. Love. Slightly getting sucked into the pages. I'm not talking enough, am I? Although some of you I know don't like it when I talk. You prefer me not to. That's a Revoke piece. Again, you know, sort of like blitzed walls, tucked away somewhere. Great. Yeah, unanimously, I did put it to the vote a couple of years ago about voiceover and stuff like that, and most of you said, no, we like the voiceover. So I know some of you don't, but maybe those of you who don't have gone away by now. I like this stuff. I like this. In fact, I love that. That's great. Ace character. It is so cool. Oh, that's a hex piece, isn't it? Is it? I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and Lumit. Lumit as well, who is European writer. Oh, and that's Seek. So, oh, I see. This is when the Europeans came over. I don't know who that is. Is that Delta? Looks like it might be Delta. Or Dime. Anyway, clearly the the Europeans have arrived at this point and are jumping on walls. Nice. Wow. Production city here. That would have taken a few days to do. Yes. Yep, beautiful. Oh yeah, big 7th letter wall. Some great stuff there. Really cool. Look at that as a portrait. That's a really beautiful portrait there. It's part of a big production wall like that. Oh, is that Kodak? Might be Kodak. Looks a bit like Kodak. Maybe. These are great. Really cool. Damn, I mean, major production stuff. We're talking like a lot of artists putting stuff together. Really great. So much of it as well. I don't know when this book came out. I remember snapping it up. Oh. Wow, that's a textile. Nice. I'm just looking at the background as well. That background is absolutely mad. Look at that. Every inch of that background is covered. There's just letters and arrow forms and completely covered that. Nicely done. That's got to be an MSK wall, surely. Surely. Yes. Love that as well. We're getting some real background stuff in here. I mean, it looks like a simple background, but this takes a lot of time to do if you're dealing with a wall that size. Great character. Yeah. Obviously, I often leap to the characters, become a character artist, so I'm looking at the characters a lot of the time. I'm looking at the letters as well, obviously. That's a great character. These characters, you look at characters like that and you think, oh, it's a simple character, I could probably do that. Then you try to do something like that, it's a lot harder than it seems. Simple is often tricky. Simple does not mean easy, as somebody once said to me. Oh, there's a nice bit of purpley pink chrome there. I like that. It's your classic sort of Latino gangbanger look, isn't it? From that time period. Belmont Tunnel. This is that place that I used to hear about a lot. I don't know where it was. I never got down there. Ben 1 talked about the Belmont Tunnel. I think all the LA writers the old school LA writers used to refer to the Belmont Tunnel. It's that big saber revolt piece on the roof. I think Sabre tells a story about when they done that. Coming up through there, the floors, and lots of scary people in there. Billboards, this is a great tradition in LA and all, isn't it? Soto, he's an LA writer, isn't he? That looks like coffee. Met Coffee. Coffee's a great mate of mine who lives not far from me, and Coffee came over and did a couple of pieces over in Peckham. Nice bloke, really cool guy. Came over for Graffuturism, and a load of guys came over. Who else came over? Joker came over as well. And who else? There were some heavy hitters on that one. A couple of other American guys. Obviously time and names as I get older. Oh, is that the Belmont Tunnel? That must be it. This must be the place. God, yes, it is the perfect graph spot, isn't it? Like our Leek Street Tunnel in London, I guess. Love that, by the way. Love that. So many nice pieces, productions and stuff. Ooh, that's your classic sort of riverside piece, riverside wall, you know, blitzed. Great place for writers to make their names, get up. Another Atlas freight there. That's coffee. Absolutely certain of that. That's coffee. Don't know the other two. Lovely wall though. Ooh. Looks quite airbrush, that. Maybe. Very fine work on it. Nice composition. Stylish. Oh, then you've got lots and lots of pieces there. Oh, we're into piece smash here. Oh, you could spend hours looking at this stuff. But the walls tell our stories. Yeah. Cruise and roll call. I think this might be the end. You know, I love a blitzed wall like that. Glossary, and that's pretty much it. Look at that, still got the CD in there. Let's have a look. 2007. 2007. Graffiti LA. Come out. Great book. I don't know if it's still available even. Bonus CD-ROM. Remember that? And they used to have all that stuff. Yeah, hope you enjoyed that. Some great graph in there, very enjoyable to poke through it, and yeah, be back for more soon.